Your boss is hovering over your shoulders as you're trying to complete your task. He is sending excessive emails, timing your bathroom breaks, nitpicking everything you do to the point where you can hardly get your work done. He is micromanaging in a big way. And you get to a place where you're just tired of it. And you finally decide, I'm going to go to HR and I am going to file a formal complaint. I just cannot take it anymore. So you go to HR and you put this in writing. You say everything that I've just listed. He's, standing over my shoulders. He's sending excessive emails. He's nitpicking everything I do. You put all of that in a written formal complaint to HR. 5 days later, after HR meets with your manager meets with you. And he says, I have some concerns about your performance. And so I'm placing you on a performance improvement plan, a PIP. And you are shocked. I mean, you have never had this type of discipline ever. You have never been placed on a PIP. You've never even been written up. So it's very clear to you that this write-up, this PIP, is in response to the complaint that you filed with HR. So your question now is, do I have a claim? I complained to HR. My boss now has me on a PIP. This must be retaliation. What are my legal remedies, if any? My name is Regina Molden. I am an employee rights attorney, and I'm here to answer questions like this. So let's dig into it. The first question that you must ask yourself is, when you think about whether or not you have a legal claim, is what did you complain about? It all comes down to that. You go to HR and you complain, and in this instance, what you complained about was being micromanaged. So to determine whether or not you have a claim that the law would allow you to sue for, or that the law would say, okay, no, I agree with you. You need to sue so we can dig into this and see what's happening. The question is, again, what did you complain about? Because courts are not concerned about protecting against all activity. Courts are concerned about companies taking action against employees when employees speak out about illegal actions. So if an employee complains about company's wrongdoing and the company is doing something that's illegal, so to speak, then the courts will step in and protect the employee. On the other hand, if the employee is complaining about something that they just have a problem with, something that's not illegal conduct, then chances are you're not going to have any protection under law. In this instance, you're complaining about your manager micromanaging you. Micromanagement is not against the law. So there can't be a retaliation claim because micromanagement in and of itself is not against the law. Again, courts are concerned about protecting people when they speak out against illegal behavior, illegal conduct. So for example, if you complain that my boss is making me work 50 hours per week, I'm entitled to overtime, but they're changing my timesheets so that they don't have to pay me. That's not right. That's illegal. So you could actually sue for that. So that's very different from my boss is standing over my shoulders and nitpicking me. That's not against the law. So retaliation claim in that instance, just as I stated it, is not going to give you any remedy. But let's change the facts a little bit. Let's say that you complained to HR and you said, my boss is micromanaging me. But you also add, and he's not doing it to anyone else. He only does that to the women. He only does that to those of us who are over 40. He only does that to the employees of color. That's different because now you've added an element that makes the conduct, if proven to be true, possibly illegal. So if your boss is singling out a certain group of people to do this to, that's very different from micromanaging in general. So it has to be tied to some illegal conduct in order for you to have a retaliation claim. No doubt about it that your boss is probably retaliating when he comes to you and places you on a PIP shortly after you've complained. But again, the first question is always, what did you complain about? Did you complain about conduct that's protected under law? Because that makes all the difference in the world. And let me say this also, once you complain, you need to get it right. When you go to HR and you put a complaint in writing, and it doesn't state that you are complaining about conduct that's illegal, you're not complaining about your boss doing something that is protected by law. So you don't mention that he is singling you out because of your age, race, sex, gender, disability, or because of complaints about failure to pay overtime, something that is protected by law. If your complaint doesn't say that, what you've done is put a target on your back. Your employer now knows it. Your employer knows what you're trying to say. But before you get a chance to get it right, they will probably get rid of you. So if you're going to complain, especially if you're going to send a written complaint in, make sure that you understand exactly what you're getting into. Because a lot of times, and I've seen this so many times, I've seen so many cases like this, where an employee will complain in writing without mentioning race or gender or age or anything like that. And sometimes that's exactly what it's about. But the employee does not feel strong enough, secure enough to put it in writing. But the employer knows exactly what he's talking about. The employer has no doubt about what you're trying to get at. But before you figure it out, they get rid of you. So don't complain unless you're going to make a complaint where you can actually get some relief. Or if you make a complaint, make sure you mention the magic words, because there's a good chance that they very well might get rid of you if you don't.